moderating tonight's session with our role model and icon. Please welcome Ebele Enemchukwu as she comes to take the stage. If your hands are not too busy, an applause will be in line. Welcome, Ebele.
Thank you for the warm introduction, Joyce. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Good evening once again. Good evening. From the setting, you can already tell that this session promises to be different. It will be inspiring, it will be relaxed, and away from all the technical sessions we've had thus far. Yet, it will be as value-packed as what you've experienced so far. We understand that we have just about an hour, so we'll do our best to maximize our time. But the whole essence is by the time you leave here today, I tell you, without mincing words, that you shall be inspired. And this is because our guest today is a man of monumental and awe-inspiring achievements, and is evidenced by his many titles and awards, including a national honor. Yet, he prefers to simply be called by his first name. Many would describe him as a simple man, a God-fearing man, a compassionate man. He is a philanthropist, and of course, an eminent and shrewd businessman. It is said that he is able to play with children, walk in the fields with employees, chair board meetings, and dine with kings. It is therefore our delight, we are thrilled. Keep your hands free, you'll be using them now. As we welcome to this maiden Founders Fireside Chat, the one, the only CEO of Mainland Oil and Gas and Chrisnak Group of Companies. Please welcome Sir Dr. Odinaka Igwe. Welcome, please make yourself comfortable. Dr. Igwe and I have agreed that we will reserve a generous chunk of our time today for the Q&A segment. What that means is have your questions ready. And as I always like to say, the tiniest scribble is better than the sharpest memory. So be it life skills, additional industry insights, we have someone to break it all down. So without further ado, we shall get straight to it. With resounding applause, please welcome him again. Thank you. Welcome, Dr. Igwe. A good place to start, of course, would be sharing a bit as to how what we know today as Mainland Oil and Gas came into being.
All right, thank you, Ebele. Mainland Oil is an offshoot, a subsidiary of Chrisnak Group of Companies. So it's a conglomerate of companies. And so the entire group started with a seed capital of 10,000 naira, and the rest is history. Thank you.
Oh, and the rest is history. And look where you are today. Mainland Oil and Gas, or well, your business, your conglomerate, yes. You were 32 years and counting. Is that it?
Yeah, 32 years.
You see, I always say that no one climbs a ladder by accident.
Yes.
It's an intentional act.
Yes.
You are the complete definition of a serial entrepreneur. But the question becomes, how do these idea balls light up in your head? Where do you get the creativity, the inspiration to what started as 10,000 naira, which I imagine probably annoyed you when you were settled with 10,000 naira, like just 10,000.
Yes.
You could have whined, you could have wept and cried over it and made nothing out of it. So you did something with that 10,000 and it has brought us here. So how are you able to think things through and arrive at what has brought you here today?
Thank you, Ebele. Since my dream of becoming a soldier died, I now decided that I will not end up a local businessman, that I want to be an international businessman. And so, exchange rate then was 52 naira to $1. And people were crying inflation. So I wonder what they will say now. And so the dollar equivalent was $250. But I wanted to be an international man, which I am today, a global citizen. That vision, I needed $10,000, which is about $520,000 to start it. And so to get that done, I had to do so many things. We were those boys that used to come and buy from Idimota. Okay. And then Kano. Because Kano in those days, a lot of importers, clearing was cheap in Kano, so you get goods relatively cheap in Kano. But among my group, my set in those days, I think my capital was small. So it's nothing to write home about. It's not enough to compete with my colleagues. So in those days, after buying goods, I choose to be the clearing agent that will clear it on the road, because there's a lot of police checkpoints. It didn't start today. So for you to come from Lagos to Onitsha, you will probably meet about 20 or more than 20 police checkpoints. And so I agreed to take care of it, the road. So what I benefit from doing that is that I don't have to pay for the transport. So, but you have to be awake all through the night. And so we started doing it. I did it so well that when we finished buying at Idimota, we charter luxurious buses. They'll be begging me. Some will buy chicken, some will buy beer, just to,
get you on their side.
To get me on their side. So I was doing it, and then my strategy was to save as much as, and that led me to, squat with people who were living in a room apartment. All of us now are big. So in those days we were sharing one room. But that one room, one thing I detested was the toilet, public toilet. It was nothing to write home about. So what I did was that my neighbor that lives in a flat, I now went and made him my friend. So when I want to use the toilet, I'll go there and I'll give him a breaking news. I'll just tell one story. So you can see these are my mates who were living in one room in those days. And this is my own room when I moved to my own room. You see in that room, some of the boys that served me there, people like Messi, Oil and Gas, I will sleep in the bed as the organ, they will now sleep in the mat. So, and then, so within a short time, these people really discovered my secret. So whenever I come to tell them breaking news, they said, "You want to use the toilet?" They already found my secret. They said, "You want to use the toilet?" I said, "Yes, but hear my story." And so we are doing that. We are doing supply. We are doing a lot because I really want to be an international businessman. And when I later moved to my own one-room self-contained, all these companies, I wrote it boldly on a cardboard sheet of paper and then pasted it. So I see it every day.
Wow. You cannot picture in the future, you cannot picture.
When you have a vision, you have to be passionate about your vision. You have to be passionate. I was passionate about, starting an international business. And then, in fact, I started making money, but I was conservative with the money I was making because I want to be an international guy. And luckily, that same year, I did a lot of supply with the credits I was collecting from customers. I was able to get a visa to travel to India. I went to India and Pakistan in 1992. And for me, I was like somebody who have won a jackpot. So that was how I realized that my vision. And when I arrived in India, the $10,000 was not enough. And so my supplier, I calculated that the money I was going to spend in the hotel would be too much. I called my supplier and told him, I'm a young man, I'm afraid to stay in the hotel. Do you have a guest room? He said yes. So I was staying in his guest room, and I was able to use the whole money to buy enough goods. And when I landed in Nigeria, I calculated the number of cartons of that goods in the market. I knew it would soon be dried up in the market, and so I packed my own. So by January, the price skyrocketed. It was not in the market. So when I came to the market and said, I have these goods, all the high and mighty, they followed me to my house. So, and they were fighting who would buy. Finally, I said, okay, I will share equally to you. That was when my bank then was Progress Bank. They all agreed. I said, go and pay the money in Progress Bank first. They went and paid. I confirmed that the money was here, and I released the goods to them. And honestly, I nearly ran mad because I shouted, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire. But I was so excited. And that was how we started. And then from there, I started international trade. And from one container per month, we grew it to over 400 containers in a month. And we started making money.
Wow.
And from there, we now went into real estate. And of course, my strategy for real estate is to study government spending. I want to know where government want to spend their money. Which road do you want to build? Which area do you want to develop? I will go and take over. Buy at the primary stage and then get ready. I remember when I moved into Lagos, there was a particular church in Yaba. They are just buying property, so I will go and buy and wait. So when they come, I say, hallelujah, do you want to buy? And I will sell. And they are ready to buy at any rate. So we went into real estate. And real estate really paid off. And of course, I moved into Lagos when the shipping business started growing. We moved into Lagos. We did a lot of real estate, Kwalitamu, all these areas. In fact, when I look at how much we buy those properties and the level of appreciation today, I said, even when I retire, I will continue to do real estate because it's the best business if you know how to invest. It's a business that you will invest, and even when you are sleeping, it is appreciated. Even when you go on holidays, it is appreciated. And so it is from that real estate that we bought an abandoned retail filling station at a pump. Somebody built it, he doesn't know how to manage it. And then we negotiated, gave him an offer. Then he agreed and bought the station. So when we bought that station, the challenge then was, how do we compete with majors on that Oka Road to Limca Road? There were majors. But you see, me, I'm not afraid of whether major or minor. If you cannot think the way I think, or do what I do, I don't consider you a competitor. And so we acquired that station. But before then, I have tried to come into the oil and gas. A lot of fraudsters were in oil and gas. Once you see them in the fleet of cars, they are not doing oil and gas, they are doing different things.
But at some point, you went back to school. Why
Yes.
did you see the need to go back? If you had attained all this, and I mean, for some of the people who are in school now, that's really the essence of what they are doing. Having gotten there, why go back to school?
Yes, I know the importance of education, that if I don't go to school, I won't be able to manage what we are managing today. And so, because of that, I have to prepare myself to go back to school. I remember when I wanted to take my GCE, it was a difficult thing, because by then, I was already a big man. So, each time I went to read, I was sleeping. I used to drink red wine and champagne. I stopped them, because I know without education, I won't go far. So, and I went back to school after my GCE. Of course, I got admission at Federal Polytechnic to do distant program. Then after that, I went further to University of Lagos, where I graduated. So I am very well educated now. I'm a BSc holder. And, not only that, I equally went to business school. I went to LBS. Of course. Later on, I went to Harvard for...
We can make that louder. How many of you have been to Harvard?
So technology has helped us to run our business more, efficiently. Thank you.
Fantastic. Dr. Igwe, yes, that is also good. We'll come to the audience soon. You talked about motivation. I'll still ask you what motivates you.
Yes.
You told me what you do to motivate others.
Yes.
But you're a regular feature at OTL. I mean, OTL is in its 18th edition.
Yes.
But you are a regular face. In fact, you are one of the sponsors. So the question is, what value does it deliver? Why are you always here? Why do you keep coming back?
Yes, I like to have 3 levels of association. Association with those who knows more than me for impartation, for learning. Association of my equal for sharing. And association with those I am better off for impartation. So when you come to OTC, you see people OTL who are better than you. And I like to associate with those who are better than me. In those days in Onitsha, most of my friends are old men, elders. So in OTL, I'm able to network. We're able to network, and also we're able to showcase our products to the world. And also OTL is made in Nigeria. This is what I used to travel, spend money.
Yeah, I agree.
I used to spend a lot for IP week. In fact, since I discovered OTL, I don't attend IP week again. Because for me, it's a waste of money. Because in OTL, you see captains of industry. Of course, you see somebody like Professor Bill Okoye. I mean, how else will I interact with somebody like that if not OTL, who have seen it all in the oil and gas industry? So when I come to OTL, I learn from them. I listen to them, and then when we get back, we try to, make some amendments. So OTL has really helped us in Mainland Oil to promote our products, to network, and also to learn. So, in fact, what is remaining now is for me to be in the board of OTL.
Thank you, OTL. That one is for you. This is for OTL. You see, for people of humble beginnings, such as yourself.
And I will always tell my children that story. I say the worst thing that will happen to you is for you, somebody who is serving you, you now go and begin to beg him for food, like that my friend. And so, because of that, we don't have a maid in the last 15 years.
Good.
So
they haven't died.
And my wife is a teacher, so she knows how to deal with them. And that was how they learned how to cook, how to do hard chores. And that helped them. I think when Obina was in Canada, he was even doing part-time job to augment.
Good.
So I know that. So when he graduated, he got a job with an American company. I called him, I said, young man, you know cases. The money they pay you, at the end of the day, they will use tax to collect it. How much do you save? I said, look at the opportunity in Nigeria. He said, do you mean it? I said, I mean it. Come. He now came, announced, and agreed to work with us. I said, you have to start from the scratch. So I want to thank our CEO, Mr. Seka, who took him in. And then he is the technical assistant to Mr. Seka. And our CEO promised me that everything he knows is going to transfer to him. And then his salary, I pay him what I pay others. The only thing is that when he lacks food, he will come and carry food. Because that's the problem of the children of big men. When you give them everything, they think the world is like that. And then, of course, the second one is a lawyer. The third one just graduated with one of the best results at the PAU. And he had joined us. The second one, after reading law, he wanted to do a different thing. So, you allow people to pass through process. Allow them to pass through process. Right. So that they will not die.
Yes.
Because when people jump on money they didn't work for, it can kill them.
That's the truth.
By the grace of God, by the help of my wife, of course the uncle, Barrister Igwe, that one is an ex-military man. The military didn't go here. He was a U.S. Air Force, so he knows how to deal with them. And so we believe God they are doing well.
Nice.
Thank you.
So, knowing what you know now, if time were to turn back, would you do anything differently?
But in what area?
All the areas, conglomerates. I mean, you're in logistics, oil and gas, property, you're in shipping, agriculture. Who knows what next? We're coming to that. So, anything different?
Yes. Some of these businesses, you went into it to create jobs. But you find out that at times some people, no matter how good you are, they don't appreciate. So for some of those businesses that are not doing very well, we might decide to sell it and concentrate on 3 major businesses, which is our cash cow, which is shipping, property, oil and gas. I will only leave farming because I want to retire as a farmer. So I don't advise anybody to get involved in a business you will not have control over. So if you will not be in control of that business, think twice. So thank you. Some people are waiting for when they have all the money in the world. Money will never be enough. As a matter of fact, you don't have money problem. What you have is idea problem. When you have idea creates money.
That's it.
So my advice to them is, if you want to come into the oil and gas business, there are 2 ways to do it. You either do your research, very well, do your research, an extensive research on oil and gas, or you go and work with an existing oil and gas company. I remember when I was doing apprenticeship with my master, a lot of people were in a hurry to start. Some had problem with my boss then, and then within 1 year or 2 years, they jumped out. But I spent 7 years, and I learned a lot of things. So go and work with an already made oil and gas company, or you do your extensive research.
So what will you be and why?
Well, if I was to be a product, I love PMS.
We're in the same WhatsApp group.
I'll be a PMS.
Why?
Because it's everyday market. PMS is product that you don't do for customer. In fact, Nigerians are addicted to PMS. So if I want to be a product, I'll be a PMS. Thank you.
And on that note, we'll keep it and go to the audience. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you. Do we have questions in the audience? Okay, I see one hand there. We have two. We can manage three and we'll call it an evening. 1, 2, and I see one there, 3. Okay, where are my mic runners? So start from Dr. Professor Billy.
Wow. This is amazing. Let me first thank OTL for this opportunity for us to hear from people who have gone from grass to grace. And it's a big lesson for us. He has touched in every aspect, business, how to start business, how to even take care of your family, because it's a big problem we have today, children of the rich. Now my question is, the oil and gas is made up of 3 main sectors. We have the upstream, midstream, and downstream. You are Baba and downstream. Yesterday, we have talked about people going into refineries. So Nigeria will be a net exporter of petroleum products. We have said yesterday, we've been exporting our crude oil. Let's export petroleum products. Make more money for the nation. We'll create more job opportunities. And yesterday, I did mention, I didn't know you were going to be here. Yesterday in my session, I said, let's rain oil, let's mainland oil. They should build refineries, have you? Yes, I said it yesterday. He said the next step, are you looking at building refineries? Are you looking at going to the upstream? Because part of the problem we also have is that you have a refinery, you don't have crude. Okay? So that tomorrow we travel overseas, we see mainland oil and gas.
Yes.
I mean, aligning with what you said about organic growth, starting small. I got confronted today by some of the people I respect to say, when are you going to begin to produce your likes? And I said, most young people don't want to patiently learn. If I brought them to join me in this conference and say, see how it is done, and they run into seeing me say hello to some people that appear big, the first thing that will come to their mind is, oh, so this is what you have been enjoying.
Yeah.
And you say we should come and learn. The next conference, they will want to be on their own. What's the nexus to tie the coming generation and your outgoing generation? Thank you, sir.
But all this problem, you may trace it back to the value system. Our value system have been eroded. In fact, a friend of mine recently introduced his son to me and said, I want you to be his godfather. I said, you are my friend. The young man collected my number and said, come, you are free as long as you are the son of so. And it was not quite 1 week. The same man called me that his son had a problem, he's been detained in a police station. And I called the area commander there, I wanted to know what's the problem. The boy is into Yahoo. That's how the relationship runs. So even we, the elderly ones, we need to do something about that. The way we glorify sudden riches, both in the community, in the church, and everywhere. A situation where somebody is into drug or is into one illegal business or the other, and then in our churches, you give him front seat. What are you telling the young ones? Do whatever you can do. And of course, in the community, I know when the chieftaincy in those days, before they give you chieftaincy title, people will begin to call you chief because you have merited it. But today, there is one traditional ruler that even gave a bachelor of chieftaincy. So, we need to do something about our value.
I learned I was going to be moderating this session. I had said to myself, I hope this man is like you. I started laughing. He started, but truly, he's a humble, simple man. And this has been a fantastic session, yes? Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your time. This is a perfect place to hinge it. As I thank OTL for all their hard work, partners, sponsors, thank you so much for making this what it has so far been. I believe there's before tomorrow. But also I'd like to thank you, our esteemed audience, for your great questions and active participation. With resounding applause, let's give a final round. CEO, Mainland Oil and Gas and Chrisnak Group of Companies, Dr. Sir Chris Odinaka Igwe. Thank you for a fantastic one. Yes.
And make it louder for Ebele and Enemchukwu. Hasn't she been fantastic?
Thank you
so much. For the photograph together, I'll ask Dr. Akabogu to please join this photo. Akabogu, please join this photograph as well. Thank you so much.